Support the podcast and you'll feel so good. Support the podcast, get us out the hood. Small donations go a long way. We'll be so excited if you support the podcast today.
See, I'm a man who needs no introduction, but I will say this. I read 3,000 books a year, and quite frankly, I won a 3.2 40-yard dash. Now, I align myself with winners, hence me being on Shannon Sharp, but also hence me being a part of this show. You need to support these brothers. You need to support winners. You know, don't align yourself with losers. Go to patreon.com/mediumpopcorn. Throw a little something down there for these brothers because they deserve it, because they're winners. All right, now, bye.
Medium popcorn, we are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn, woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.
Oh, Lordy, Sugar my Baba Baby. This is Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown.
And we are Medium Popcorn, back to review another fucking Tyler Perry movie. It's been a while. It's been a while for a good reason. But we're talking about Divorce in the Black, which just got released on Amazon Prime. I had the pleasure of interviewing Meagan Good, the great Debbie Morgan, and Richard Lawson, who play her parents, her character Ava's parents in the film. And, I was respectful. I was very polite. I asked my question, got some great responses. But I already seen the movie at that point. And I knew that this movie was fucking cuckoo bananas. And not in a good way. Not in a fun way. The way that Tyler Perry movies can be sometimes. No, Justin. Divorce in the Black opens at like a 20. And then it simmers down to like a 5. And then for no reason escalates to a 50. This movie is so out of pocket at times. I mean, okay, so.
Hold on. Actually, Brandon, before we get started,
yes.
I want to pose a question to you.
Okay.
Because I need everyone to realize how crazy this film is. So I need to put it, I want to put it in the context for you and everyone listening. Do you feel like this movie is crazier more or less than Acrimony? Because Acrimony was nuts.
No, it's not crazier, and it's not as fun as Acrimony. No, this movie is just out of pocket. Because Acrimony had crazy ass lines. The fact that it was filmed in a week, there's so many things about Acrimony itself that actually make it a Tyler Perry classic to me. Because Taraji is great. That's the thing is Meagan Good, she tries her best in the role of Ava in this movie. But Taraji in Acrimony, without Taraji, that movie is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. I can't even watch it. But Taraji, one, she's bad as fuck. Because crazy Taraji, I don't want to be in a relationship with her, but she is fucking sexy as fuck.
I do.
Because you're a glutton for punishment. But she just has, she has some crazy lines where she's like, don't you know I'm the fucking devil? And when we got in that car crash, they destroyed my womb, and so I couldn't have children. All these things that happen, right? Whereas Divorce in the Black, it's okay, I get y'all grew up in a small town or whatever the fuck. Ava is played by Meagan Good, who is maybe top 10 baddest chicks in the game right now, right? And she's with this
for years. She's been bad. We were children.
Yeah.
She is I think she turns 43 this year, and for my entire life.
She's been a baddie.
My entire life, she has been one of the women that I looked up to and just been like great Googa Mooga. She is like bad since she was a child.
Yeah. I remember You Got Served. All the dudes being like, "What the fuck?"
Nigga, I remember my cousin Skeeter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you know you bad when a puppet wants to fuck you. You know you bad as fuck.
You trying to get when puppet's trying to give you dick. Yeah.
And she has Dallas played by Corey Hardwick, who has been in The Chi and All American, Homecoming. He's been in a few things. He's been in The Game, obviously.
A liquor store near you, because that nigga looks nuts.
And his character Dallas, whose family is so fucking crazy, ran by this crazy ignorant lady who's raised a bunch of boys who are apparently just savages in the community because the dad reads them all their rights. She's like, you didn't raise these boys right. Rape, maiming, robbing. That's why your one son in the casket in front of me right now, and he in hell. And all the other boys going to hell too, except for Dallas, because he only want to graduate high school. And he basically says the only reason why he's okay is because he's with Ava. And I'm like, Dallas ain't even a great looking guy. He's ignorant as fuck. He's not a good time, whether it's sober or drunk. He's not fun to be around. And he's convinced Ava, because they've been together since high school, that she is a bum, that she's not desirable. Like, he's broken this poor woman down so much. And for me, I'm like, there's just no way. There's no way that a woman who looks like Ava isn't told every fucking day how gorgeous she is. It's insane.
But that's, Brandon, you're talking like somebody who has their shit together.
True.
And that doesn't hate women.
True.
Right?
True.
Because there are guys out there whose sole purpose is to break this woman's spirit so he can dominate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, and like there are beautiful, powerful women who are, destroyed by these terrible fucking men. It doesn't matter what you look like. Your self-confidence, your self-esteem just can be destroyed by somebody just, treating you like less than. So, just because she's beautiful, that don't mean nothing, because she's still a human being just like the rest of us. And like, unfortunately,
she's not like the rest of, she's not like us because she is Meagan fucking Good. She's good. Okay. I just like lost my mind to that. I get it. I get what you're saying, Justin, but I'm just like, there is no way. Like, if I'm her dad, if I'm Richard Lawson, I am literally shipping my daughter to a different city. I'm overnight. I'm putting a fucking blind over her face, and I'm shipping her away. Whether it's to Europe or some shit, be like, girl, you were going to thrive. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, here's the thing. Though. Obviously, Ava's in an abusive relationship, right?
Yeah, like a mentally abusive, I would say.
No, well,
probably
no,
verbal, like, because it's not implied that he's been hitting her yet.
No, yes, it has.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right, because of the list that the friend has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, her friend was a baddie too.
He's been physically abusive to her.
Yeah. By the way, Taylor Pelorti Williams, who played Rana, she was a baddie too.
Yeah, she's cute.
The best friend who Dallas kept calling ghetto. I'm like, bro, she's living in this beautiful ass house. She got a good looking dude as her husband, right? Even though apparently he cheated on her or whatever. That was wild. I'm like, she doing okay. Yeah. I think it was to try to be like, men ain't shit. I think like, there was a few things that Tyler Perry was throwing out here at this movie. Also because Jim, I think they were trying to imply that guys will cover for each other when they do egregious shit, which I didn't appreciate not exploring that enough, because I didn't understand why Jim wasn't beating the shit out of Dallas. If that's really your boy needs to get fucked up and know that the way that he's behaving towards his wife, towards my wife, ain't cool. Like, he starts stalking Meagan Good, and he's just like, hey, let me talk to the guy. Like, this guy is clearly a problem.
Yeah. No, listen. If Dallas, I'm trying to think of like how I would react in this thing. But all right, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but know somebody who was being a piece of crap to their wife,
Mm-hmm.
and within like circles and whatnot, and kind of like everybody within the circle, all the guys, you know, were kind of like completely distanced themselves because everybody wanted to say something, but nobody wanted them to say something. You know what I'm saying? So like we're just like,
Yeah.
everybody's kind of just like, yo, just like maybe just one of us talk to him. Everybody's like, no, don't say anything because such and such and all this stuff is going on. It's just like you don't understand the dynamics of what this is and people not wanting, people to get involved because it's a bigger thing than just them, because it affects everybody, but nobody wants to be a part of it because the moment you get involved, now you're involved, and then somehow you become the bad guy.
I get
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They blame you. They blame you
For
as
calling out
like,
the truth and how you see it and stuff like that, because it forces people to have the real conversation at that point.
because it also takes the onus off of the person who's the big piece of shit, and they're somehow able to transfer that to you and make you the bad guy. And like I've seen it time and time again, and all the times where it's just like, yo, I feel like I just want to, but I've been in these situations where people are just like, I don't want you to say anything. I'm told to hush by my significant other. Now, this isn't Paula. This is a previous girlfriend. But it's like, I was told like not say anything. I'm just like, but I gotta hang around this guy. You bring me around him, and then it gets to the point where it's just like, then you just can't bring him around anymore.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, when you like start hanging out with couples and stuff like that, it's a challenge, right? It's like if sometimes something happens with the relationship that you don't agree with, or like that makes you uncomfortable, it's like being got to balance that. Like if there's something specifically, like let's say you were uncomfortable with, but Paula or like your past significant other greatly loved hanging out with this couple or that woman, right? You're just like, fuck. But they said that Dallas and this dude Jim were best friends, so it sounded like they all like grew up together.
Yeah.
And so, but at a certain point, it's like, well, I mean, the best friend, Ronnie kept telling Ava, she's like, he ain't shit. Like, he's terrible. I did love, though, when Dallas goes into that bank that they both work at, where I was like, what kind of bank is this? Where he's just like, I told you to sign the fucking papers. And she's like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out, she's like, if you don't get out of here. And he's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. She's like, nigga, do you think I care about this job? I was like, all right, everybody getting fired. Like, you can't just be in this white institution, just go drive a nigga at customers, around customers.
Here's the other thing, Brandon. Where was security?
That's what Tati was complaining about. She's like,
because like, if that's a bank, banks have security.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
and if they don't, then you need to be scoping that place out. There's an opportunity.
You are ripe for robbing. Because like that's the thing, I'm just like, where's security? Because this is a bank, there's security, and a lot of times that security, they got guns. That dude would have been in a just extendable nightstick. Busting his grape open.
Yeah, that's why I was like really frustrated. It's like there's nothing really that's scaring Dallas into taking shit seriously. I mean,
well, and this also, they made it almost like Dallas is fucking Superman. He ain't that big of a dude to be rolling around the way that he's. Oh, also, can we talk about Ava's, the dude that she grew up with? It's played by actor Joseph Lee Anderson.
Yeah, who was on Young Rock. He played a dad.
Oh, did he?
He played the Rock's dad on he was great. He was great as Rocky on Young Rock.
First of all, the man's built like a goddamn action.
That's why his arms are huge. I think like because he was probably
crazy.
Yeah, but he looks really different though. Because I'm so used to him having the like mustache as Rocky Johnson and shit, and like the '70s hairstyles and stuff. It's very jarring seeing him as a modern dude. But yeah, I mean, when he goes to that bar, he doesn't even get into the bar, by the way, because Ava comes out that bar. This is after the funeral. The brothers are getting a hammer inside, and they come out. They're like, "You want us to fuck you up again?" And I was like, "Are they about to jump this one guy? Like, who are these brothers?
4-on-1.
Like,
I mean, but then again, if you got 4 brothers and somebody's trying to fight one brother, they're gonna have to fight you all. That's how family goes.
well, then one of the brothers, who seems like the only one that maybe has some common sense, beats the shit out of Dallas because Dallas is trying to drive home. And Ava's like, no. And then the brother's like, you let her drive. Like,
she's driving. Now you get on out of here.
But then, like,
he better go to sleep.
But that was a weird moment, though, because that doesn't come to play later in the movie where these niggas beat the shit out of Ava's dad.
Yeah.
You beat the shit out of a man of God. Like,
no. They shot him in the leg and then beat him with bats and crowbars.
Mind you, the crime scene is at their house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the police and the ambulance came, they were just like, "All right, we're not going to question the family."
Well, see,
that didn't make any sense to me.
Because for some reason, the dad was sitting in his car along the side of the road, but when it was very much shown that he was passed out on the road. So are they telling us that then one of these guys then put him in his car and propped him up and then drove him out?
Oh, maybe.
But
because she's like, I think Dallas did this, and I'm like, you think? Like, what was also like when Benji's craps, like, because I was like, did Benji and Richard Lawson, the father's character, did they share a farm? Like, because the livestock that got killed on the farm, that looked like that was on Ava's dad's property. But then Benji's like, they killed my stock, and I'm like, wait, what's happening?
No. They killed Benji's livestock. He just happened to be there with the sheriff. Maybe he drove by and he saw all the dead animals.
But my question for you, and I think Justin, you brought this up in a text thread we had, which is, Dallas and Ava live, what, an hour and a half away from their parents and where Dallas's family lives, right? In that one town.
Yes, they do.
They posited that Dallas...
They specifically said an hour and a half.
They posited that Dallas is able to do this back and forth like it's nothing.
No, this nigga is teleporting.
He has to be, right? Same with Benji. Benji's back and forth constantly, too.
No.
The third act, he's bouncing back and forth a lot.
No, not at the degree at Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, yeah, Dallas is on a different plane.
Dallas is fucking Nightcrawler. This nigga.
That's why he drinks so much. That's what helps power his superpower. It's like Jim B. I can only teleport when I'm hammered.
Yo, because he makes, I would say in about like 4 hours, is seemingly he makes like 4 or 5 trips back and forth to Atlanta and wherever they're staying in the rural country of Georgia. Like, it's nuts. And at one point, he shows up at the house and this nigga's upstairs. He comes down from upstairs. How did he get upstairs?
Yep. They allude that he broke in.
Through the upstairs. He's like, yeah. I thought that nigga was upstairs.
Yeah, because I mean, she's like, I'm gonna fuck him so good. She's tricking him into going to the house so she can kill him, because she's had enough of this shit. Which I'm like, you should have done this a long time ago. Once he was in the house, after she hooked up with Benji upstairs, and also the fact that she called out for Benji by the point that Dallas is at the top of the stairs, you call out Benji's name when he's heading towards the stairs.
Yeah.
Because my man was literally like, he barely woke up before Dallas started going to town on him. But luckily, he was like, I ain't that little kid no more. He started fucking Dallas up. He beat Dallas up to the point where you watched Righteous Gemstones, right?
Yeah.
He beat him up as bad as that naked fight that they had in season 3. I thought he was about to, right? It was just like that. As if they were butt naked.
But the crazy thing,
they just threw him back in his car. I mean, so I think to your point with the dad, I think that Dallas did do that because that's what they did to him. They threw him in his car, all beat up and fucked up.
Yeah, but after they shot him and beat him up, they all went inside.
Yeah, I mean, they shot him in the back of the leg. He would have bled out.
Yes.
They shot him with a shotgun.
No, it wasn't a shotgun.
It wasn't?
No.
It was
was
like,
no. The dude was walking like this.
okay.
Like it was like a fucking goon.
I mean, I hated that whole family, Dallas's family and stuff like that. The fact that they were like happily like ignorant and fucking pieces of shit. It's like, well, and the whole town. So the whole town was basically afraid of them. That's what they alluded.
Yeah,
which is crazy because
it also seems like they were smart enough to elude any sort of consequences for any of the crimes that they've done. Because the police are just like, well, we don't have any witnesses, or we don't have. Well, it's like, you're telling me a white cop in Georgia, and there's a black family causing all sorts of trouble, and they ain't all in prison for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they would be locked up. Like the way they were treating them, they're treating them like they were a white rural family.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not the same thing. Those rights would have went out the window a long time ago.
It was, dude. That whole family was out of control. I mean, from the opening funeral scene, Ava's dad was going hard at that family. He was like, "Y'all pieces of shit." He didn't see. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, it's like, the son that's buried, that's in this casket in front of me, he in hell because he did terrible things. He did terrible things because he wasn't raised right by your mama, and you brothers are all pieces of shit. Dallas is just lucky he's married to Ava, so like I don't say too much about that. But then the mom starts taking off her clothes. She's like, "You think I need these hand-me-downs?" And then throws off her wig. And then she's like, "Take the body." She's like, she makes her sons take their brother out of a casket and carry his dead body so they can go bury him outside their trailer park.
Yeah, put him in his truck. Put him in their truck, and they sit on each side, and they rode off. Like that was...
They going to hell.
Huh?
They going to hell. If they are like God-fearing people, they're going to the downstairs.
For that or for what?
I mean, for everything they did, but specifically, that's how we open. So you're like, oh, it's not. Yeah, that ain't gonna be good.
I will say though, when it opened like that, I was just like, oh, okay. So like, this is interesting. Like, because obviously, I knew what I was stepping into. It was a Tyler Perry film. I'm just like, And then that opening, I was just like, well, look what we got here. It's like, at least it was very interesting, and it sucked you into the point. Like Paul and I turned this on. Paul was, and she started looking. She was like, we both were just like, they're like, all right, we're in here.
And that's how
but
we
then
open.
As the movie kept going, we were just like, what is this?
That's how we open, and then it's just like a weird slow burn of, Dallas is like drinking and he's miserable and he just resents Ava, and then they're going out to dinner. Mind you, he leaves her. Okay. And here's the thing. She gets home from work, right? We don't know what Dallas actually does for work. Like he says he's working. He's not really working. He's just stalking Ava. Anyways, he
gets suspended from his job because she puts out a restraining order on him. So it was like he was suspended from his job pending investigation.
Mm. So they're supposed to be going on a double date with Jim and Ronnie, right? And she gets home and he's like, "Hey, we gotta leave because we gotta get to the restaurant." She's like, "We got time. Like, I'll be ready by 6:30. We'll get there by 7. It's fine, right?"
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be ready in 45 minutes.
Yeah, and
he's ready in about 35 minutes.
Yeah, and he's just drinking angrily. She gets downstairs. He gone. I'm like, oh, and I was watching this with Tati. She's like, I've been divorced you, right? Because I love my wife. My wife loves me. She's not great with time management. She knows like it's always down to the wire when we have to leave somewhere, and she always fucking stretches it as much as she can to where like to the point where it's like if she knows we're running late now, she got to pay for Uber for us to go. It's bad, man. Is it worse with kids?
Oh yeah,
it's worse with kids now, right?
You can't get out of that.
That's what like terrifies me now about making plans. I'm like, if we have kids, I know it's going to get like exponentially worse.
Yes, 100%. No, yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Have to get ready like 5 hours in advance, because
I have to give Paul like 3 hours. I have to do my hair. I have to do this, that, this, and she just takes her time. I'm just sitting there, just well. This is the other thing.
We're whispering like we're not recording a podcast. It's listened by tens of
We just
thousands
like
of people.
looking around. Did you say that? Did you said that though? But like, I feel like if it's something that I want to go to or something that I set up, we gonna be late.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
Oh, we on time. We're early.
Oh yeah.
That's the shit that bothers me.
Oh yeah, yeah. When it's stuff that she wants to do, like she rushes.
Yep.
If we're running late or something like that, she'll rush.
Mhm.
Where for me, it's like, why are you going so fast? Or what? We don't need to be there at that time. I'm like, come, just do. And so I always end up threatening her that I'm gonna leave her, right? And then so I'm like, when I saw Dallas actually did this shit, I'm like, oh no, 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 no. That's that's how you get divorced. So the fact that Ava still went to the restaurant, and then Dallas is already getting hammered, slamming the table like, where that drink at? I'm like, first of all, he should get cut off immediately if he's already behaving like that. Like, second, his boy Jim should be checking him like, yo, don't act like that here. Like, we not savages. We're not fucking crazy, right?
Mhm.
Third, when Ava does finally show up looking beautiful, mind you, again, it's Meagan Good. And he's just like, you such a bitch and I want a divorce. I'd be like, fine. Like, she's distraught. She's devastated. But that's because she claims that her family, her parents, conditioned her to be such a doting, devoted wife because she saw them as like an example of what that's supposed to be, that she compromised herself, basically. And so, because I was kind of worried, like, the family, like, the parents were going to reveal, oh, we got separated, or like all these things. But it's like, oh, no, we just taught you, we didn't teach you how to interpret our relationship so you have a healthy relationship. Like, it's not about just being fully devoted to your partner. You also have to make sure you are able to like live a full life yourself, because they talked about how she was like a leader and she was like, an athlete, like, and competitive and stuff like that in high school. And then Dallas just slowly dimmed her light.
Yeah, he sucked all that out of her.
Yeah. I mean, I would suck it all out of her too, but
I said it. It came out of my mouth, and I knew that it was a mistake. I knew that it was a mistake for me to say.
I know you just closed your eyes like Biden after he made a fumble in the debate, like, just, oh no. just
and the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin. Oh,
we're in some wild times, man. So then he wants a divorce. Eventually, Ronnie and her parents, Ronnie writes, she shares this letter where she wrote down all the terrible things that Dallas has done to her, which is like 3 pages. When Ava takes it to her parents' house, the mom finds the letter. She's like, do not let your dad see this because he will kill Dallas.
Yeah.
He will kill Dallas, which I was like, how bad does this shit get?
Yeah. Listen, I think that is why the good Lord blessed me with 3 little boys. Because I would be that dad. Like honestly, like Paul said it to me before. He's like, sometimes I think that you wish that somebody would do something to me just so you have a reason to go off. I'm like, yes, Paula, this is what I want.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you yeah, you and Tati have I wish a nigga would energy, and it's anxiety inducing. I don't see it with you when we're in social situations, but with Tati, she's always on one. She's always ready to go. But I can see that with you and your family being like ready, just like at the playground, like, I wish a nigga would touch Jackson. I'm gonna fuck everybody up. I can see you fighting a whole school, like a playground of kids.
Oh yeah.
That are trying to attack your son.
Listen, man. Like, you can say whatever about me, but I will protect my family anyway. But like, that's like, I think that's the one thing that scared me about like having a daughter. Is just like, but what if she gets some guy who's just like a piece of garbage? It's just like, what am I gonna do? It's like, I will murder that, a person for, and I think that most men share that sentiment about, their child or, their wife and stuff like that. And, as sometimes people do things and they're little things which are building up, to and hurting somebody you love is just like it's a lot to deal with, especially when you feel like you can't do anything about it. But like in this case, nah, bro, keep me downstairs. Keep me downstairs. I'd have to be like that about like her father. Like, you can't tell me that because Dallas is going to go home.
Well, I mean, as soon as she gets the restraining order, the daddy comes through with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
He's like, you going to stand your ground. And again, that's why I was like, when Dallas does show up after breaking into the house, because she changed the locks. Because at first, Tati and I are like, did she not change the fucking locks? And then he's like, she immediately says that. And he's like, you didn't think I can get in my own house? I was like, so he's breaking and entering, immediately a crime. So now you can use self-defense. I was just like, I think it took Ava a little bit too long to finally get her balls back, which is what frustrated me because there was nothing about Meagan Good's portrayal. It was like everyone talking about how, I don't want to say submissive, but how passive Ava was and not having a sense of urgency in her own agency. Everyone talking about it, but her not showing us why she has that or how she is. Because there's nothing about Meagan Good, especially even in the early scenes, that made me feel like she lacked confidence in herself and her beauty and her abilities. It just kind of was like, it was just, that's how the role was written. So people are just saying this about her, but I'm like, visually, that's not coming off. So I didn't buy any of this weird interaction with Dallas. And when she finally has resigned, and I love this part actually, with they getting to sign the papers, and she's like, "Oh, she really doing it." Dallas is like, "She's really signing these papers." I'm like, Jim, you didn't talk to your boy and be like, "Yo, she's done with you. You ain't a good dude to be around." Like, I was like, if Jim is really this guy's friend, he should be honest with his friend and be like, "You are not a good person to hang out with." Like, there's just never a moment with Dallas where you're like, I can see why she kind of liked him.
He did do that, because even in that point, he's just like, you're the one who's pushing her away. She didn't want this. You did. So like, he does have moments to say it, but Dallas is not listening because Dallas is a crazy person.
Yes,
he's somebody that you can't reason with. He doesn't use logic or anything like that. He's just off of raw just stupidity. So the characterization of Dallas is pretty straight. It's like he's just a psychopath. Like he's 100%. Like, people say, oh, he's a narcissist. No, he's a narcissist. Like, and he's like, really crazy. He's really crazy. So to the point where he can't fathom anything outside of what he has in his head being true. But for this movie, especially with everything that we've talked about this character, it seems like a lot is going on, but all of that seemingly happened in the last, how long was this film?
It was about 2 hours, wasn't it?
Was it 2 hours? I'm trying
to
find.
Yeah. Because again, there's no Wikipedia for this movie, folks, so we have to kind of go strictly off memory on this one, which is challenging. It's 2 hours and 1 minute.
Okay, so a lot of stuff doesn't happen in this movie until like maybe the last 45 minutes.
Yep.
It is a very slow and boring movie.
A lot of meandering with like, oh, do I leave him alone? And everyone being like, Dallas, leave her alone. That's all this is.
And then she's running, and these flashbacks. She gets in the car with her boyfriend, new boy boo thing, and she's like, I want you to make love to me. He's just like, I ain't gonna do that because in
the back of the truck, right?
Yeah.
I was like, he planned this right.
Yeah.
Because when the moment's right and she gonna want to do it,
she gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She did. But like that is like, it was so slow. I remember I looked at Paul and was like, what is going on with this movie? When is something going to happen? It's like, it started so hot in that church scene, and then it went to like a 5. Like you said, like it went from a 20 to a 5.
And then once the dad goes to Dallas's house,
I would go back. I'll go back and say like it goes from a 20 to a 2.
It's very slow.
and then it shoots up to the 50. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, once the dad goes to Dallas's compound or wherever the fuck that is, and then they the brothers show up Dallas shows up behind him smoking a cigarette you looking for me, old man? And then the other brothers come out the fucking forest with various weapons. I'm just like, who are these people?
Also at that point, it's like they would have killed him.
Oh yeah, dead. I thought they were gonna that Tati and I the whole time were like the dad's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
And then they were just he was just critically injured or whatever. Also, mind you, Dallas has already terrorized the mom. This happens after he terrorizes the mom at the grocery store and basically grabs her and shit. Which Debbie Morgan still looks great. Debbie Morgan still looks great.
She looks like she's gonna be eating many cups of Jello soon in a home, but bro. She looks pretty slow. She looks pretty slow and just she's Loretta Devine.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are right here. They are right here. And they're acting. I'm just like,
she was doing her thing and stuff, but Dallas is just he was just like, hey, your daughter's a bitch, just like you. You bitches gonna get got. I didn't show a bitch what to do. And I'm like, Tyler, just try to write some actual logical dialogue, please.
I'm gonna say this, Corey Hardick, he's terrible.
He's not good in this. And he looks crazy. I hated those sideburns he did.
He's atrocious in this film. He's really bad. I'm trying my best, but well,
also it was crazy because I couldn't tell at the beginning, when he got really hammered and they went back home and he has that reveal where he basically says that his mom told him to kill his dad.
Yeah.
Had him kill his dad. I was like, they never came back.
Yeah.
It was okay, is this supposed to be for a little bit of sympathy for Dallas, or does this show just how dangerous he can be? I was like, which way is it, Tyler? And then it just never came back. Because I would have called that out. I would have been like, okay, I could have gone. I would be like, I would threaten Dallas all the time, but nigga, do you know what I know about you? You know I could bury you, right? You killed your father. She never brought that up.
Yep.
I mean, that probably would have caused him to lose his fucking mind. Probably try to kill her in that moment. But
True.
if we're going to the rodeo, let's get our guns going.
Oh man, Brandon.
But Corey was rough in this. I mean, I also think that the story was just cuckoo fucking bananas. But yeah, he didn't look good. He didn't look attractive. He looked crazy. There's just nothing about Dallas where I was like, Ava, what are you doing? Because it seemed like they were living well. I mean, obviously a lot that they said was from her dad and things like that, but it just nothing fit. The relationships didn't fit. Ronnie and Jim's relationship didn't quite fit because it's she pretended to know about the affair and then they had the conversation later, and I'm like, okay, but why are we focusing on this when it really is about Ava and Dallas? I don't give a fuck. Dallas threw his boy under the bus, right? Which gives Jim even more reason not to fuck with him, but Jim keeps fucking with this guy. So Jim's a piece of shit. I'm like, what's the objective here, Tyler? What are you trying to say about these characters and their situation? What are their wants? I don't have any of this information. And then it just escalated to when, the dad goes to kill Dallas. He gets rocked to high heaven. And then Benji's driving back and forth Ava. Fuck it. And then Dallas is trying to.
And Dallas is just, teleporting, just Ava, Daddy, Mama, just back and forth. Yo.
And it took her way too long. Okay, she didn't need for him to beat her up in order to have the self-defense claim of shooting him. All the evidence is on her side. Also, she has a security system, right? The dad installed a security system, right? They should have been able to record him breaking into the house.
Yeah.
You don't need to take hits from him. That was crazy. Unless it was just to catch him off guard because he was no.
Well, no, because having like clear signs of physical abuse would also show that he that he's clear and present danger. So he was actually saying like he was trying to murder me, and I grabbed a gun and I ended up shooting him. So it's like there would be no, it's kind of open and close case once she has like, and then they could do all the DNA evidence, like his, hand bruise, from punching her and all that kind of shit. Yeah, it's like she got him dead to rights.
You're right.
He's
You're
dead, but she's.
I mean, he is dead. He is dead.
I mean, it's a clear setup, but he was stupid enough to fall for it.
Yeah, she shot the shit out of him, and then at the end at the hospital, the family is like, the mom's like, "You killed my son," and that's when Tati said, "There's gonna be a sequel to this, right?" And I was like, "No way, no way." And then we see the family angrier faces lingering on, Ava and what's his name, Joseph, who's Benji.
Yeah, Benji.
As they're leaving the hospital, I'm like, "Yep, there's gonna be a sequel."
Even though I feel like the mom, who could have been played that mom very, very well, but there's no way Tyler Perry could have gotten her. Monique.
Yeah, I can see that.
She would have been. I'm like, especially considering her performance in Precious, she could have brought something to that role. But then that it would have brought more of a spotlight on her because with a star name like that, you got to use her.
That's true, yeah, because the mom role it's very sporadic and when it would pop up, and it was just such an over the top villain. Like, these are the kind of people that like it's confusing, right? Because they're so ratchet that you would think that they're so reckless that they would immediately get incarcerated and locked up and constantly in and out of jail, right? But at the same time, if you're a community and you know about these people, you can do something to take them out.
Well, I mean, like what the one at the beginning, he got killed because he was trying to rob
old people,
elderly lady, and she laid that hot steel on his ass. So what happens, baby?
Yeah, I mean, basically that whole family gonna die, get killed. That's what they're alluding. Like, they're all gonna die from trying to commit crimes.
Yep, there were 5, and now there are 3.
All dead from gunshots.
2.5, because the younger brother, he was in the hospital because he caught a bullet too.
When he could catch a bullet?
At the end, they're like, "Oh, the younger brother got shot."
From what?
That's why they were in the hospital. That's why that
was a completely unrelated thing.
Yes.
Oh, I thought they were there because like Dallas's body or some shit.
Oh, no, the younger brother got shot. They were just the dad was just being released from prison at that. I mean, I'm sorry, released from the hospital at that time. The younger brother got shot. Yeah, it was a very quick throw in. It's like,
okay.
It's like, like, what are they doing? It's like, yeah, the youngest. You haven't heard the youngest brother got shot.
That's so crazy.
Nuts.
The family's out of control, man. I don't know, folks. I mean, Tyler Perry's out of control. I mean, this is just back-to-back insanity. I will say this is better than Mea Culpa, the Kelly Rowland movie on Netflix.
What's that?
This is better than his movie on Netflix, the Mea Culpa movie.
Yeah.
You didn't see that, though?
No.
So why are you saying yeah? You just
listen. I'm just done with Tyler Perry. We don't need to have.
It was just insane. Like
I'm glad that he made the studio down there and people are, doing work there. It's just like, yo, just do that. Stop. Don't do this anymore. I'm done.
Well, it was just ridiculously long for no reason. Like, I remember during like the scene where, they're signing the divorce papers, right? Tati was under the impression she's like, oh, because she's not really reading it. She's like, he's screwing her over in some way. Mm-hmm. He's doing something because the white guy was like, you should really read this over with a lawyer. She's like, no, I'm good. I know what it says, blah, blah, blah. So she just signs it. And so Tati's like, you're probably signing over your house or something like that. Turns out none of that happened, right? And so the Dallas is just upset. You're just like, wait, for real? That's why we're getting to the escalation that was shown in the trailer. It's just because he's like, oh, you really want to let me divorce you? Now I'm upset. It's like, okay, if that's your logic, no wonder you failing at whatever the fuck you're trying to do professionally and why you keep drinking. Like, that's a troubled person. That's a disturbed person.
Yeah, so it's like basically this whole thing was a game. And then he shows the house eating cereal. It's like, I'm going to give you another chance. It was like, what? What?
Yeah.
I just got plowed out last night.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. She got some good D. Oh, I mean, maybe she did. I don't know. But yeah, it was just very. What'd you say?
She said it was the best she ever had.
I mean, she's only had 2 dudes, so. But they had a lot of sexual tension building up for a while. Remember, he was like, "I've been waiting 20-something years for this."
17 years.
Yep. Which that's why he immediately went down. He went down on her. I was like, "I get you, buddy. You need to show her. You need to show her what you've been missing." And she was wearing yellow too. Okay. Black women look amazing in yellow.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know if you saw this breaking news. Joe Bryant, Kobe Bryant's dad, dies from a stroke.
Damn. Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Hope he didn't get to. I hope it wasn't because he was watching Divorce in the Black.
He was just like, "Why is the movie so bad?" Ah.
Well, that's the heart, bro. I get scared. I get scared of the body, man. As I get older, I'm like, man, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best, body. I'm trying to eat more greens. I'm trying to drink more water. Come on, baby.
Just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live.
If I lost 100 pounds, I'd be in bad shape. I'd be looking like dude from Captain Phillips. It would not be a good look. I weigh 187.
187?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose like 20 pounds though by the end of the year. Okay. Me being back to 160-ish would be like early 20s Brandon, which would be nice.
I'm 225.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to lose a good 20.
We could do it together. We could do the medium popcorn challenge where we eat popcorn and drink water all day. That's our diet.
I'm pretty sure we're not going to lose any weight.
We're just going to have bloated bellies. It's just bloated bellies full of air.
Oh, God. All right. Let's rate this.
Paul's like, Justin, you want a steak? You're like, no, just give me that bowl of popcorn again. Put some Old Bay spices. Break down our rating system, baby.
Stop calling me baby. So, guys, you know how we do this. We rate movies back to popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve an fresh, buttery popcorn, we throw it into the stale popcorn pile. We pile piles and piles of stale popcorn on top of it. So, Brandon, we watched a Tyler Perry film called Divorce in the Black, a 2024 thriller starring Meagan Good, Corey Hardick, Joseph Lee Anderson, Richard Lawson, Debbie Morgan. What say you, Brandon?
Did we even talk about the title, what Divorce in the Black is supposed to mean? Which is supposed to mean that you divorce like without taking a loss?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Yeah, this gets 121 piles of stale popcorn. This is absolutely awful. I did not buy for a second. And I get it. People can be broken down, but it's just nothing about Meagan Good, as beautiful and delicious as she looking, made me feel like she would have settled for somebody like Dallas, or that she wouldn't have grown up to realize he ain't it. At some point, he ain't it. Like her trying to be distraught when Dallas asks her for a divorce is so insane. This guy's an alcoholic. You don't like his family. His family don't like you. Your family don't like him or his family. Like, this is never going to work long term. And there wasn't enough there for you to even like try to fight for this. And they didn't give us anything that made it seem like there was ever a point where it was worth fighting. Because even when they were in high school, Dallas and his brothers beat the shit out of Benji just because they were friends. Like, there was never, ever.
No. they beat him up because she
she went
Dallas,
on a date with him.
yeah, and they were hanging out together.
Yeah.
And they saw him, so then they beat him up when they were on the break.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was
pulled him out of the car and then sent him to the hospital.
It was just so insane. And for me, I'm like the whole town should have fucking taken this family out, Dallas's family out. And I know that's not right. And I know that's like really harsh and sounding, but there's certain people where you're like, oh, this is a problem. And if we don't start,
Wait a second. Hold on. He said that happened when they were 17 years old.
I believe so, yes.
She said that she's 37.
Mm-hmm.
The math don't line up because that's the last time like he's supposedly seen her. And she's waited 17 years, right? It's 20 years of passage of time. And he specifically says 17 years multiple times in this film.
Do you really think that there's like, real calculations here?
I'm just thinking, no, because as you were saying, I'm just like, wait a second. The numbers start scrolling through my head. Like, wait a second.
Insanity. It just, despite having an attractive cast, this movie, this attractive cast was lost in the sauce in this film. And Corey Hardrick, I don't know what you were doing, bro, but this wasn't it. This wasn't it.
Stop it.
Yeah. Justin, what's your rating?
Yeah, so I'm going to give this all the stale popcorn. I don't know how many stale bags or pounds or truckloads of stale popcorn I can give this because this is just bad. It's bad. It intrigued me at the beginning and it immediately lost me right afterwards. Like this was such a letdown. That opening scene, you would think that, oh, we're on to something, but then you realize you're not in for something good. This should have never been made. This should have never been made.
Yep.
This should have never been written. And the fact that this was made is because Tyler Perry has his own studios and he likes to write films. And so he just greenlits whatever he wants. But I don't know why anybody would distribute this.
I mean, he's got deals with BET, Amazon, Netflix. He's everywhere, man. He cannot be stopped.
Well, Tyler Perry just needs to start sending straight to Tubi at this point. If it wasn't for the big names that he could get in his films, he's straight to Tubi.
So that's one thing that is a bit disheartening about Tyler Perry, vacuum in Hollywood and stuff, is that he is one of the few directors that's actually providing lots of opportunities, particularly for black actors. Debbie Morgan, Richard Lawson, they talked about that during our Africa interview with them. And it sucks to know that that's like, he's one of the few people that's consistently giving black people acting opportunities, in this industry. And that's actually going to be seen by people too. Cause you mentioned Tubi, but like Tubi's just full of madness, right? It's very, very hard to actually find something that's decent or that will get you eyeballs to help you get to the next level in your career. Right. And so it's just very unfortunate that this is the kind of stuff that he's producing. Cause he's a talented person. It's not like he can't do something good. It's just that, I don't know if it's just the volume at which he's putting stuff out and he just doesn't ever get notes or what have you, but holy shit. We did get some Patriot thoughts real quick on Divorce in the Black. And folks, remember, if you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/mediapopcorn, you're guaranteed to have your thoughts and reviews shared on our episode. So Simba Jackson at Best Med Pod wrote, in regards to watching this movie, Andre 3000 voice, don't do it, reconsider. This movie sucks. Tyler Perry is better than this. This movie wasn't even cuckoo bananas crazy fun. It wasn't even to be fun. This is a hollow, vapid waste of time. Fuck this movie, bro. Dog, she is stale popcorn. Meagan is a baddie, though, even though there's no way she dragged that man from her upstairs bedroom to the driveway with one hand. Salute, son.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a crazy when she's like, no, he's going to get out of here. He's going to get out of here. I'm going to grab him. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And Sid Tobias wrote, this movie, quote unquote, actually doesn't follow any laws of physics, logic, general human interaction. There's so many scene transitions that felt like The Room. This is legitimately an unwatchable movie, which is rare for Tyler Perry. Damn. Well, that's our Patriot thoughts on Divorce in the Black, folks. Let us know what you thought about the movie by hitting us up on all social media platforms at Medium P Podcast, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all that stuff, Threads, TikTok. But yeah, you can also leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/mediumpopcorn. Let us know what you thought of the show, the episode, us as hosts, all that good stuff. And you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Threads and Instagram. You can come check out my show. My one-man show airs Seinfeld's on Friday, August 23rd at the Soho Playhouse. You can get tickets at FrodoBlackens.com. And just how can people follow you as well as support the show financially if they choose to do so?
Guys, you can follow me at J Brown Did It on all the social media platforms. But you guys know the great thing that you could do, and that is to follow us on Patreon. Join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/mediumpopcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages. Our entire backlog is on Patreon. We have so much content on Patreon. It's
Patreon.
And again, it's patreon.com/mediumpopcorn.
I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated because you can't get a good black acting movie. But there's more on the horizon. I'm hoping for our sake because this is getting painful. I'm tired of seeing black people in bad movies. I'm so tired of it. Well, give us something good, man. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad out here.
This is really bad out here, man. It's like, when was the last time we saw like a predominantly black cast in a movie that was really good?
It's been a while. Like, and I'm not, all jokes aside, it's just been a while.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes because Axel F doesn't count because it's just Eddie Murphy and a bunch of white people. Blade doesn't count. Hidden Figures, maybe? That might be the last one. Hidden Figures or American Fiction? That might have been the last one.
American Fiction. Probably be American Fiction.
Well, we actually technically did Hidden Figures, did that review after American Fiction. So I'm just looking at our release of public podcast.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. Folks, if there's a movie we're missing that we should definitely check out and review on the podcast that's predominantly people of color or black folks, please let us know at speakpipe.com/mediumpopcorn. Once again, that's speakpipe.com/mediumpopcorn. As always, we enjoy listening. We appreciate y'all listening. And God help us. Let's pray that these movies get better at some point.
But they won't.
They won't. All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace.
Pray for us.
Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.